Hey everybody, my name is Anita and I'd like to welcome you to the Honey Hive. Everybody, and welcome back to the Honey Hive. My name is Anita. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time joining us, we at the Honey Hive are bringing you Black women entrepreneurs, community leaders, and those who can speak on social justice issues. So, happy Friday. Yes, we made it again. Praise the Lord. Okay? Today, I am so excited because I am joined by someone who is just such a dynamic and awesome person. She is a singer, she's a songwriter, and she's an actress. Please put your hands together and help me welcome Sha'Leah Nikole.
Hello.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited, you guys, because my girl can sing her face off, okay? Let's just start there. And I know that I've said that about a couple of other people, but that's true because I only surround myself, other than Kristen, with people who can hold a note. Yes, you can.
I'm a tenor.
Okay. Yes, she can. She can sing. Amen. All right, no. This is how this episode is going to go, you guys, okay? Because the three of us have been around each other, indirectly and directly, for a very long time, okay? We started at Faithful Central. Shout out, whoop whoop. Okay, and now we're following each other along all of our career paths and everything that we have going on. So I'm really excited to speak with her, to have you guys hear her story, her journey, because I know that her journey and her story will bless you. So, how are you doing? Let's get started.
Good.
Okay, so tell me, how did you get started in the entertainment industry? Like, you wake up one day like me and be like, I want to be a singer.
No.
But then no.
Nope, that wasn't
Okay.
how it happened.
Okay, tell me.
So my brother sings. And
Okay.
growing up, he was always the one who sang and did all that stuff. And I just, I was like, that's his thing. And so when I was about 9 years old, my mom put both of us in a performing arts conservatory called Amazing Grace Conservatory, founded by Wendy Raquel Robinson and Tracy L. Coley, rest in peace.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want to do this. But, I was very nervous, scared, but after that day, it was just like my eyes were opened and it was still a little scary, but it was just amazing. And I stayed from the time I was 9 years old until I graduated high school.
Wow.
So I just started learning music, dance, acting, theatrical training. And so it was just like a major part of my life growing up, and I just never left.
Nice.
Never left.
That's awesome. And now, are they still around or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
nice.
I'm actually on staff there now. So it's like a full circle thing, because I started as a student and now I'm on staff. They are still going on even through this pandemic. They have online classes for students, I think ages 5 through 18, and then they also do some adult classes as well. So look them up, Amazing Grace Conservatory. It is an amazing outlet for the community.
Oh, that's amazing. And of course, you guys, I will make sure that that link is in the description box below. Maybe, Kristen could go on in there. Get some. I'm just joking. Listen, I'm trying. You guys know that when other people are here, Kristen likes to stay quiet and all that other stuff, and I'm really trying to get her. I'm really
got some
trying
skills,
to.
though.
She does, but
here.
she drumming,
Exactly.
I can't do that.
That's very hard.
But I'm really just trying to get her out of her show, you guys. That's all. But okay, so that's how you got started. So that's how you got started.
Yes.
And you've been doing this now for how many years?
I don't really want to tell people.
Oh, don't date yourself.
I mean, you know what? I saw somebody the other day who was one of my students, and I went to a service event, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you don't age. You look amazing." I was like, "Stop saying that like I'm old. Like I'm not."
No, I'm not old. Black don't crack.
Exactly. But I am fine with it. I've been doing this. So I started training when I was about 9, and then professionally, I would say maybe 15 years.
Nice. That's a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. And she's still got so much more to give and so much more in store. So I want to know, with you doing it for such a long time already, and we are still young, what makes you feel like your best self? Like, what inspires you?
Oh, there's so much inspiration, family, just the world, things that are happening in the world. Because I write music, I like to say something. I think that's very important to me, is that I say something. And even with acting and doing projects that are gonna touch people, doing projects that are gonna say something to people. So I'm inspired by so many people, and just, this, what you're doing right now, this is inspiring. It's like, wow, you're out here doing something that God has put in you, and to just move forward, even in the face of all the adversity that we are experiencing, is very inspirational. So
thanks.
Yeah.
Listen, inspiration comes from many different people, shapes and sizes, forms, and all that stuff. So if you're out there and you are an artist and you are looking for, just things to inspire you, I encourage you to look around you. Use your circumstances, use your environment. There's so many people that I know personally who have used, the things that they have experienced as they grow up, and all of that stuff to pour into their creativity. So start there and use that stuff. So we talked about your creativity. We talked about what inspires you. So let's just pretend like I am 10. Okay, little Anita. Okay, I see. I woke up the beast now. Little Anita, right, is looking at you and looking at all that you have done so far, and I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. What advice are you giving me as far as it relates to being in the industry? Like, how would I get started?
Well, little Anita, the first thing, I would definitely say, learn, get in classes. If you want to be a singer, or you want to be a dancer, or you want to be a scientist, you need to learn the craft. So that you never stop learning. Even me, now I'm still in classes.
Yeah.
So you're always learning. I think that's the first step to really, just learning and believing in yourself, using those people around you to kind of, pull energy from them. Like, okay, bounce ideas off of them. Or if you want to sing, like, hey, let me sing this song for you, and just put yourself out there and really just try. You won't know what you like or what you don't like unless you try. So really just believe in yourself, learn, never stop learning, and put yourself out there.
So how do I deal with stage fright? Like, how would I get over that?
You just have to do it.
Yeah, okay.
So it is frightening if you've never done it sometimes. Some people are just like, oh, I love the stage. They love being in front of people.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you don't try, you won't grow either. So I would say, put yourself out there. Start with something small, like a family member or a friend, and then, okay, I can do that. Now let me ask a couple more people to come over, and then you get into a class, and they'll probably have some type of showcase, and you do it there. Just use your resources, because everything we have, everything we need, we already have.
Yeah.
So just use your resources, and just one step at a time. Don't try to say, okay, I'm going to be in front of 100 people, like, for the first thing that I do. Like, take, one step at a time. That's all you can do.
Baby steps, guys. But put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Again, going back to the previous episodes, when God says go, you go.
And even if you are afraid, do it anyway. Just
do it afraid.
Push forward, just take that step, and you'll learn something along the way. So just keep going.
You heard her, okay? And she's still learning. She's still doing these things. So don't look at it like, oh, she made it, so she doesn't have to do X, Y, Z. Like, no. Like she said, she's still learning. I'm still learning.
Yes.
Like, we're all still learning. And I think that's the most important thing, is to never stop learning, because
so much to know.
Yes, there's so much to know. And then I also feel like the moment that you stop and you say, I got it, or I'm good, or something like that, that's when God will be like, oh, okay, you think you do. Let's see. You know, and then a test comes or something like that, and you're like, whoa, I wasn't really prepared, or I wasn't equipped for that. You know what I mean? So you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep trying and practicing, because, you know, you just can never stop.
Yeah,
I love that.
People like think because, you know, I've done musicals and, you know, I put out music. So there's like, you know, everything there is to know about singing. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm learning now more about music than I have before. And even like sight reading. That's what I'm taking class now, learning how to sight read.
Ooh.
And it is not easy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah.
So some days I'm in class on Zoom with my teacher and I'm like, like this is, and so it's just, but I'm learning and I can see my progress, you know, little progress, little by little, but I'm like, wow, I'm actually learning something new that's going to help me overall as an artist. So
that's okay.
It's
Sight
tough.
reading might not be your thing. Not mine. Okay, but maybe it's starting a YouTube channel and wanting to find out all of that and how do you do it and all of that. Go for it and do it and practice and don't give up. And don't listen to the naysayers.
They're gonna be there.
She said they're going to be there, okay? They're going to always be there. But if you know that that is something that God has placed in you to do, and your talent is what you know that God has given you, go for it. He will sustain you. He will cover you. He will keep everything in line and give you all that you need in order to succeed in what He's called you to do. So don't listen to anybody else but the good Lord upstairs, okay?
Yes, sustain.
Yes, come on and sustain me. Whew, all right. So the both of us, the two of us, the both of us, it doesn't matter.
They both sound good to me, so.
You know what I mean, okay? We just watched Transformation Church with Pastor Mike Todd. Okay? And he really pricked both of us in what he was teaching about, and, you know, as far as Paul is concerned, and giving credit just for stepping out on faith and doing, you know, what God called him to do, which was to step out on that water. Okay? And we only talk about him sinking when he took his eyes off of God, which is a great message in and of itself as well. But the fact of the matter is that he did take that step. He did have that faith to take that step. And that is what I'm encouraging you guys to do as well with your gifts and your talents. Take that first step. Keep your eyes on God, yes, but take that first step, because after that, He's got you and He won't let you fall. He won't let you sink. So take that first step and keep going. Amen.
Better go ahead.
Amen. Okay. So now you're in it, right? You got some singles coming out, which we'll talk about in a second. But where do you see yourself going in like the next 5 years? What do you want to do?
I want to be able to use my gift around the world. I want to be able to inspire people, to just encourage people around the world, and just literally like through all the different talents that I have, the singing and the acting and the writing and even serving. You know, I love service, is so important to me. So I want to be able to do that on a larger scale around the world, helping people that, you know, I wouldn't be able to reach normally, even if that's through, you know, we don't know what's happening in the next 5 years, but however that is, I know God is, you know, going to be able to use me. I just want Him to use me on a scale that is like, that'll blow my mind. So whatever I think, I want Him to do even like bigger than that.
Yeah, come on. Blow my mind, okay? That is a consistent prayer of mine, right? Just take my little stuff, right? Because I know that whatever you got in store for me is bigger. So just take my little stuff and then make it bigger. You know, and I think that's amazing. I love the way that you have embraced, not only in your music, but I can tell just from following you that you have just embraced everything about yourself. Like, you know, like you are putting out your whole self. And I love that, because I believe that representation matters. And so for all of the little brown girls that are out there, all of, you know, even the little Black boys that are out there that see us, that see you on these different stages with these different people, can look and say, I can do that. I see her doing it. I can do it. And I'm so in awe of you and all that you are doing. Like, you are really stepping out there. You are really stepping out there and doing some stuff.
Good. Like, a lot of the things that I've been able to do, I didn't, you know, for one, of course, I couldn't have done them without God. But I think what is pushing me and sustaining me is my relationship with God that continues to grow. Like, He's giving me the confidence to step out and do these things, to audition for these different things, or to write these songs. Like, it's because my relationship with Him has been growing, and I just feel like, okay, God told me to do it, I'm gonna do it, because I already know that if He said do it, He's gonna take care of the rest. So I have this confidence in Him now that is exuding in everything else that I do. Like, I didn't always feel like, oh, I'm going to go and show everybody that, you know, I think I'm beautiful and this black skin is, you know, it hasn't always been that. But I think when we allow God to reveal who He is in us, we start to see that, and we can have confidence in who He is in us. And then it's like, okay, I am beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, you know, and you start to have this confidence in yourself. And that's how I have been able to, you know, level up faith by faith, you know, it's faith. Everything is just, God is blowing my mind again.
Yes, I love it. So is that where Mahogany came from?
So Mahogany is one of my singles, and I wrote it last year during the pandemic. And I was planning on putting out music anyway, but when everything started to change, I was like, what do I want to say? And I wanted the first thing that I said to be something that was encouraging, something that was uplifting, and something that would empower my people. And that was the first thing that was the thing that I wrote. And I was like, this is the first thing that I want to put out, because it's so important to know who you are, whose you are, where you come from, that you are royalty, that you are beautiful. And so that was the first thing that I wanted to do. And it has just, you know, surpassed my wildest dreams. People have, you know, reached out to me and just said, oh, when I hear this song, I just feel so beautiful. I feel good about myself. And that is, that's what I really wanted to do with the song. It wasn't about how many streams. It was about people being touched and people being encouraged to, you know, feel good about themselves.
And you guys, if you haven't already, go download that, because it is an amazing song. And you made it a family affair. You had your mom, right, in the video.
It was a family affair. I wanted it to be just to show Black people in every facet. So I had my mom, my grandmother, to show the generational, you know, beauty and just how things work in that realm. And then I had beautiful Black women from every color and every size. I had Black men, every color, every size. Siblings, you know, me and my brother. And then I had another, like, younger kids in the video. And it was just everything that I wanted people to see in us that, you know, sometimes we don't get to focus in on. I wanted to show that. And my friend Nina Gloucester Burrell, not forget the Burrell, she directed the video. So it just came together so beautifully. And I think it is an amazing representation of Black beauty, Black excellence. And that's the whole point.
I love it. And it, like she just said, it is a great representation of that. Black is beautiful. Okay, every shape and size, every color, every shade, like it is beautiful. We are an eclectic culture, okay?
Not everybody can say that. Every color range, like from the lightest to the, like, that is so beautiful to be a part of a culture that has so many different types of people. You know, I think it's amazing.
I do too, and I love us. That was part of the reason why I wanted to create this space so that you could see and have representation on the screen, because I think it's so important. It's and this is no disrespect to anyone who's in the industry doing rap and things like that, but it's just, I think it's so important to have us in every genre, right? To see representation in every genre, and not just, like I said, rap, and not just gospel. Like we're so much more, you know what I mean? And it's just about representation. And I believe that just having the platforms and the outlets like YouTube and, you know, getting into social media and things like that for us to become more supportive of each other, right? And more encouraging of each other. That's the reason why I wanted it to be specifically for Black women, because I want to be able to show even, and it's not to diminish the 82 subscribers that I do have. Shout out to you guys, right? Thank you. But I wanted to, even if my little raindrop of this platform can show someone who looks like me, you can do this too. That's the whole point of this whole thing, is to show and highlight Black women who are doing excellent things in the community, with music, with entertainment, with teaching and cooking and all this other stuff that we have under our umbrella, to really put forth that and to showcase that. And so I hope that you guys can see that you continue to support it, and that you continue to support all of the wonderful women that I am bringing to you, because they are doing some excellent things. And like I said, I'll make sure that all of her stuff is in the description box below, so that you know where to go and support her. Download her single Mahogany, and then now she also has a new one. Yes, with her brother.
Yes, we literally just released a song, my brother and I, called All I Ever Wanted. We have a video which pays homage to the 5 Heartbeats with the amazing Robert Townsend. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. So, and again, we did that during quarantine last year. He came and he was staying with us, and we just worked together. Like, it was a great time, because I think one thing that last year did do for a lot of people is it forced us to reconnect with our family, with our friends on a different level. And I really am thankful for that. We had an amazing time doing that song, and it's a fun song, and the video was fun. It's just great energy, and check that one out too.
Yes, it's amazing. And it's such, I just love it. I love it because it's such feel-good music, right? And that's all that I'm about. Like, you give me something I can vibe to, you give me something that makes me feel good. Like, it's such a great song, and it's like I said, it's that feel good, and it's just awesome to see her and her brother too have something special for them that you can cherish now for the rest of your lives. Like that, I'm sure that experience in and of itself was amazing. And to have it, be done, like you said, during quarantine, where, we all locked up in the house still. And it's February or March, getting ready to be March. And we're still in the house. We're still in the house. But I believe and I'm trusting that God is doing something. Something is we're being prepared for something. You know what I mean? And I believe that it's definitely stretched me, right? As a person, it's stretched my marriage in the good way, not in a bad way, in a good way, and brought us closer, you know what I mean? So I'm curious to know, other than like the music and things like that, just on a personal level, how have you dealt with the quarantine?
It's been, I'm blessed. I'm thankful. God has kept me, my family, and I've just been finding new ways to connect with God, definitely, because I feel like that was something that he was trying to get our attention. Like, okay, pause for a second. Everything that you're doing, like before quarantine, I had just come back from Paris with the Sunday service choir, and I'm just all over the world. And God was like, okay, stop. Everybody, like, we all had to stop. And clearly, he wants our attention. Right. So I've been, finding different ways to connect, and different ways to continue to learn my gifts, learn more about what I love to do, and just really try to focus in on being better. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Just trying trying to be better.
Yeah, I love that because, I mean, listen, we all have time. We had time, you know, and just like you said, just pausing and stopping and just thinking about those things that you may have been putting on the back burner. Now you have time to do things that you want to start, like a YouTube channel. Like what? But you have time now, so you know you do it, and I think that that's an amazing thing. So you mentioned the Sunday choir. Can you speak just a little bit about your experience? Like how did you even started?
That was definitely a God move.
Yeah.
Because I had heard about the choir and I was like, yeah, that's great, but I'm cool. And I had a couple opportunities to audition, but I was like, I don't really think I want to do it. It's not really, I'm not really being called, you know? Yeah. And so I finished.
Ooh, it's so churchy.
It's true though. Like the more and more I get into this word, I'll be over here like,
right.
But I finished a musical called Witness Uganda, and then maybe a couple weeks later, maybe 3 people reached out to me and were like, you should audition. They're, you know, auditioning more people for the choir. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. And usually these kind of auditions, they scare me a little bit.
Yeah, really.
Because it's like, you know, you have to go in there and just be yourself, but it's like, well, what are they looking for? What if they don't like me? All this stuff. So you just get this nervousness that really is just pointless because if you go and you're supposed to be a part of it, you're going to be a part of it.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I went, I auditioned, and they called me back to be in the choir. The first time they called me, I was in New York, and they were like, we want you to come. Can you come to rehearsal? And I was like, oh man, I'm out of town. And I thought I missed the opportunity. I was like, well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
And then I got back home, maybe like 3 weeks later, they called me again and were like, hey, we're having rehearsals. Can you come? And I was like, well, I guess it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But it was one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. Just being in that environment, being able to travel the world, literally the world.
Right.
And usher in the presence of God for some people who have never even been in that type of environment.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people are like coming to see Kanye, but they would leave like, wow, I feel a little different.
Yeah.
So it was amazing to be able to do that. The team was great. Everybody was just very kind, and really the purpose was to represent God or represent God in a new way that people were not used to. And so singing those songs and being with that group of people was amazing. I think I grew in my faith definitely during that time. And I was just like, just seeing God do what he did, I was like, wow, like this is amazing. God is amazing. So I'm grateful for that experience. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And it was so cool to see. You know, I know a couple of people that were, you know, a part of it and everything, but it was a really cool thing to see you in there and singing. And, you know, you could tell, like I said before, that you had this confidence, you know, about yourself and then about just being in there. And of course you have those people who are like, oh, that's fake and but I know that for those who I know who were a part of it,
we were praising, like it was some real praise and worship going forth.
Yes,
every
like,
time.
I know that they don't play, so I knew when I saw them, I was like, oh no, they doing some things in there, you know. And it's awesome to see that. It was awesome to see on different platforms with different, you know, like you said, with different people who are in the audience or, you know, on the TV shows or things like that. And it's just like how great God is to be able to use you guys in such a way to spread his word to people who may not believe in him, may be lost, you know what I mean, may have been given up hope and things like that. And to see someone like Kanye West, you know, saying and speaking those things, but then also seeing his support behind him of people who are, to me, it looked like all ages, right? Like it was a good kind of well-rounded group in my opinion. And so just to see that part of it was just like, wow, like that's new, that's different. And other than in gospel, you know, you don't really see kind of like the whole big choirs and stuff like that, like you do, you know, or did with you guys. And I think that's amazing.
God definitely
amazing.
used that group of people to do something amazing. He used Kanye to do something that had never been done. And, you know, I believe he was being obedient in that time to just do what we did. And I'm grateful for his obedience because it just made me see God in a new way.
Yeah. You guys, so awesome. And I hope, like I said in the beginning, that you can see and feel just the dedication, right? And the love that we have, not only for God and his word, but to spread God's word and the good news of God. And look at what he has done for Sha'Leah, but use that not as, oh man, I'll never get there, or I'll never, no, use this as, if God can do it for her, I know he can do it for me. And make that your prayer. Whatever he has for you, allow him to do what he needs to. Be specific and be careful, because it may not look the way that you want it to look, or the way that you thought that it would look. But make sure that you open your heart to him, open your mind. I hope that you've been encouraged and inspired by all that she is doing and has done. I'm so, so, so grateful to her for coming on, because it's just something, like I said, that I've always wanted to bring you guys, just more Black women who are doing things who you can feel inspired by and encouraged by. And I hope that you have been inspired and encouraged too.
Yes.
I am definitely praying for you and your career.
Thank you. I have some really great things coming this year.
Tell me, what is it?
So I'm going to be releasing some singles this year. So new music is coming. I was blessed and honored to work on a short film about Mahalia Jackson's life, which will be, I'm not sure if it's coming out this year or next year, but it was just an honor to be a part of that with so many amazing people. I'll be playing Mahalia as a young teen. You know?
Come on!
And Legacy plays her as an adult.
Wow.
And so it was just being around so many amazing artists. Yeah. Being able to honor Mahalia Jackson. Like, she doesn't get enough credit for her amazing career and how she stood for God wherever she went. Yeah. So that, I'm excited about that, and just my nonprofit organization, My Footprints LA. We're gonna be doing some service events this year. And I'm just excited. I really, like, my main focus is just to let God use me in everything that I do. Yeah. From my music to acting to serving to just everything. And I'm just thankful that you know, brought me here to be able to share with the beautiful people. And hopefully someone is inspired and encouraged. And
I love that. Come on. Again, here we go, because, you know, everybody wants to surprise me now on my own show. But your nonprofit.
Yes.
Has it been in existence? Is this new? What?
I started maybe about 4 years ago, and I started doing small things at a middle school, and I would come and I did workshops and brought in guest speakers to kind of inspire the youth to see themselves in all areas. So I brought in Black doctors and actors and writers, just so people that look like us can see, like, okay, I can do anything. Yeah. And then service was very important. So I took some of those same kids and we would do service events for the homeless brothers and sisters on Skid Row. So the whole premise behind the My Footprints LA is like, what are you doing? What are your footprints gonna leave behind? And it's definitely, for me, service is important. Yeah. And education and learning. And so just being that light in our communities.
Okay, so she also has a nonprofit. Okay, all right. So singer, actress, right? Songwriter. She has a nonprofit. She's a lover of the Lord.
Yes.
I mean,
that should be number one.
Hello? Hello? So I don't want to end without asking this question, because I think that it's really, really important, and it's really one that I'm curious to know your answer to. And I know y'all see me, right, with the card, right? Because anyway, I want to know, and it's kind of going back to the representation part, right? But I really would like to know your thoughts on, what would you like to see change within the industry as it relates to Black women?
I would like to see Black women doing everything, but also being them getting the credit for all that we do. Because a lot of times there are Black women doing, especially in my field in music, doing everything from producing to writing to composing, all these different things. But because there's not as many of us doing it, we don't get that recognition. But I think that the more people who feel inspired and confident to step out in these different fields in the industry and music and performing arts and everything like that, then we will be able to see ourselves in these different places. Because they're there, they're just not, we can't see them all the time because they don't get that recognition from directing to, you know, all these different amazing things that we do just naturally. You know, then you're like, okay, let me turn it into something that we can share. I think we just have to be ready to answer the call. Like if there's something that you can do, like you have a natural talent for leading people. So maybe take that and use that in this entertainment industry, because we as we as followers of Christ need to infiltrate all these spaces and be that light. Like I feel like that is that's something that God is calling me to do, is to be that light in an industry that is so dark, in an industry that, you know, wants you to just follow the world. I think God is calling us to be in these spaces, but be you. Don't change who you are to fit into these different areas. Be who you are, and God will elevate you because He wants people to see Him. So don't get all, you know, when you get to that level, don't think it's about you. It's never about you. It's always about God, and it's always about who He wants you to touch. So.
All right. Come on and give up the snaps, because that was amazing. So
thank you,
you guys, listen, I'm going to, as always, make sure that all of her information is in the description box below. I'll make sure that the organization, Amazing Grace Conservatory, their information is in the description box below as well. So make sure that you follow her on Instagram. Make sure you download and stream all of her music that she has out, and make sure that you stay up with her so that you'll know when her movie's coming out, you know, when they're, you know, kicking off the things for her nonprofit, and all things Sha'Leah Nikole. Yay. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored. I am so honored. Again, I am praying God will continue to blow your mind.
Thank you.
You know?
Likewise.
Yes. So you guys, listen. Happy Friday again. Thank you again for being here. I pray that you have a blessed and prosperous weekend. And as always, welcome to the Honey Hive. Peace. So coming up next week, I'm sitting down with Sha'Leah Nikole as we dive into some positive affirmations. You don't want to miss it.